All right. How many said just one in the crowd? Two people. All right. What else? What else do you say? Thief on the cross. Oh, cool. John. Simon. All right.
His mother.
His mother. Mike.
We discussed Judas' point of view.
Judas.
Judas thought he was an instrument in God's hand. He was doing what God wanted to do. God told him before Last Supper, go do this thing that you're going to do.
Yep.
He was just spurring the kingdom along. Here's my chance. All the people are in doubt. Boom, let's do this.
Make it all happen.
Yeah. God's going to use me.
Yep. Oops.
I'm the naked guy running.
The naked guy running? Yeah. You want to elaborate on that, or?
I chicken out the last second.
You want to be really close to him, but then you chicken out the last second. Cool. Very cool. You feel like Jesus? Okay. Anybody else? Soldiers? Okay. None of them could have anticipated what was about to happen. None of them, and I'm not even talking the resurrection, none of them could have anticipated what was about to happen. You ever watch 24? Got the clock that comes on the screen? That dude has bad days. Do not be Jack Bauer. I mean, whatever I'm saying, just do not aspire to be Jack Bauer. That guy has bad days. But as we're moving towards, I see that the pivot point in this story is coming in just a little bit. It's coming up on a cross. When Jesus breathes his last breath. And none of these people, Peter, Judas, well, Judas was out of the scene pretty quick. The naked guy, the guards, none of them could have anticipated what was happening as that clock ticks up till you know when it's going to be done. We know watching. We know that the earth was going to shake, not just literally, but figuratively, spiritually, in an amazing way. Okay, because here's the deal. Put the story in pause and go back a few thousand years. Genesis. Adam and Eve in the garden, having a good time. And then Eve eats the fruit. And if that wasn't bad enough, Adam eats the fruit. Lest we get on a little bit of a thing about Eve. What was the deal with the fruit? Does God not want us to eat fruit? There are some here perhaps who would take that. Strong meat and nothing else, people, right? I called him out. It wasn't the fruit. It was simply the fact that God had said no. Have you ever put out a test to your kids' parents? Let me see if I'm going to trust them or not. You see, freedom means freedom. And you don't have freedom unless you have a choice. And so God allowed a choice to be made. The problem is that when Adam and Eve chose to step away from God, what happens? Relationships are smashed. Okay? As soon as it happens, what happens? Walls go up between them and themselves. It was her. She told me to eat. And since then, we men have had a hard time standing up and being the man. It was her. He did it.
No, Brandy goes deeper. It was the woman you gave me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you did it. And the woman, well, it was the serpent. And they've broken relationship with each other, and they've broken relationship with God. And since that moment, relationships have been smashed. And the clock is ticking down. See, after that point, Adam and Eve had the spiritual life that you and I want. I mean, how cool is it when God shows up every evening at your house and says, hey, I'm here to hang out with you for a little while. That's what Adam and Eve's life was like. It was good. But when that happened, there was a wall. They could not approach God without a sacrifice. Because they had broken that relationship with God. They had cut themselves off of the source of life. And if you cut yourself off of life, death results. And so they had to bring this sacrifice to God. Say, here! And as God brought the people of Israel out out of Egypt, he set up a system of worship where the people couldn't even come into the presence of God. They had to have a priest who did the ministry for God for them. You couldn't go in and talk to God. You couldn't go directly into the presence of God. In fact, into the very presence of God, only one guy could do, and only once a year, with a rope tied around his ankle in case he died so they could pull him out. And here's God desperately longing to be in a relationship with His people who have cut themselves off from Him, crying, saying, I want to be with my people, yet He is confined and put back because the relationships have all been broken. And since then, we have lived with broken relationships because we all have become selfish, self-protecting people. And when I'm focused on myself, what happens? I hurt someone else. That's the whole essence of what sin is.